Haifa and another season of Maccabi Haifa basketball. Coming off the most successful season in team history, the Haifa squad this year tries to take one step forward and go for the championship. Good evening, everyone. Aaron Heller welcoming you to Romema Arena in Haifa for game number 1 of this season. And we pick up exactly where we left off a year ago, a rematch of championship game, defending champion Maccabi Tel Aviv and the host Maccabi Haifa. A lot of new names, a lot of new faces we'll get you introduced to soon enough, but a name and face that needs no introduction. Simi Rieger, former coach and player of Haifa, and my partner in crime here in the broadcast.
Frightening face. Okay.
Good to have you back,
Thank
Simi.
you. It's a pleasure to be back, and we're looking forward to a good season. We really don't know how this team is going to look because there have been big changes in the Haifa team, in the Maccabi Haifa team. They went from an American point guard to an Israeli point guard, changed the big men, three or four new players on the team that are integral parts of the team. It's really up in the air.
Well, let's get right to it and introduce our fans to the first player. You mentioned the Israeli point guard. His name is Dror Hajjaj, a veteran of the league.
Dror Hajjaj is a 31-year-old point guard, grew up in the Rishon LeZion area, played in the youth program, started in the lower divisions, played in the first division, worked his way up. He's the best one-on-one defender, man-to-man there is in Israel. He's a great kid. He helps the team. He made a mistake last year, went to Maccabi Tel Aviv, didn't get any game, so he's a little rusty. But he's a good pickup for the Haifa team.
And another pickup they have is a new foreign player, Jason Rich, trying to fill in for the reigning league MVP, Deron Perkins. He's going to be a main factor for this team this year.
Well, Jason Rich is a two-guard. He's came out of Florida State with my friend Leonard Hamilton in the ACC. He's an excellent shooter, great athlete, jumper. He goes to the basket real hard. He gets a little better in the on his jump shot, more consistent. He's an NBA player. Great kid. They love him here. He'll be a total plus, and he's an unbelievable athlete.
Simi, of course, the huge news in the offseason here in Haifa, and the one which has been covered mostly really in the media around the world, was the signing of Jeremy Tyler, the first player ever to skip his final year of high school basketball and go pro, and he's here in Haifa, a guy they're saying might be the 2011 top pick in the NBA draft.
Yeah, he's a young kid. He's supposed to be going into 12th grade. He's better than anybody that he played against, and all of a sudden he's playing against men. Now that's a major, major problem. All of a sudden, the physical, playing for food. He's still young. He came over here with his family. He has to mature on and off the court. He has a lot of talent. He needs to help Davon Jefferson, but he could be a real. In my opinion, he's the key to the whole season. Okay. If he comes, the team will come.
Now, defending champion Maccabi Tel Aviv, of course, the powerhouse of this league, coming off a very eventful week, a dramatic and a traumatic week in many ways. Their longtime team manager, Moni Fanan, committing suicide a week ago. Real trauma and shock for this team, and very quickly, though, evolving into a full-scale scandal here, talking about an investment that he had for money of players put into it. Israeli tax authority now investigating the matter, Simi. This is something which we still don't know all the details of yet, but it definitely will cast a shadow over this entire season in many ways.
I got news for you. I don't think we're ever going to know all the details. I think nothing was written down. It was his private work. It just depends who was involved. I mean, from what I've been hearing lately, a lot of unsavory characters were involved in it at the end, and that's a shame.
And we'll be talking about that and much more during our halftime presentation. We'll be talking about that scandal which is rocking all the entire sports world in Israel. Let's get back to basketball briefly. Maccabi Tel Aviv also, lots of changes in the offseason. First among them, signing the reigning MVP of the league, a man who we're very familiar with, Deron Perkins, the guy who led the attack last year here in Haifa.
Yeah, well, Deron Perkins was talking about going to Russia, getting a Russian passport, and I don't know who was giving him his advice, but it was bad because the Maccabi Haifa, I spoke to Jeff, they wanted to sign him, but he said he went on, so they signed Hajjaj, and they changed their concept. He's an excellent, excellent player, plus a great kid. They have two other point guards in his place, and it's going to be a tough fight for minutes for Deron.
Not going to be probably has much chance to be as dominant as he was a year ago. And some of those players who have joined him on that team really so far in the preseason we've seen two guys named Alan Anderson and Chuck Aitson. They've been the leaders of that squad so far, and looks like they could be the ones leading their team this year.
Alan Anderson's a Michigan State kid. He played for Izzo. Great on fundamentals, really knows the game. Is a tough kid. He's 6'6". He's like in Europe, in the States, he's a 2. Here he can play 2 and the 3. Very good play. And here we got Aitson, a 6'7" kid that went to South Carolina. He started in the lower, not known teams, but really has improved every year and gotten to higher and higher levels. They say he's a big key to the team, and they're also both of them are very good athletes.
Maccabi Haifa coming back, as we said, from the most successful season in team history. A lot of new guys, and we're going to get to know them in our halftime presentation with a feature that we prepared. The newest member of our staff, Donna Dario, will get to meet her throughout the season. Let's take a sneak peek at a little bit of what we're going to learn about this team, the other side of Maccabi Haifa. Let's take a look.
Oh, Bender, man, I never seen a guy that never talks, man. This guy never says a word. He like 31, 32 years old. Man, dude don't talk at all. Like, he come in, do his sit-ups, do his abs, do his push-ups, do some shots up, go like, hey, Bender, what's up? Hey, you gonna say anything? What's up, Bender? Hey, man, that man don't talk, man. He's a serious guy.
Having a good time preparing. Now we'll see if they have the same chemistry as they do in the locker room that they have on the court. Simi Rieger, along with Aaron Heller, welcome you to game number 1 of this season, and we couldn't have asked for a better one to start things off, Simi. The two best teams in the league from a year ago, will they be the best two teams this year as well?
Well, they're two completely different teams. Maccabi Tel Aviv, I think, changed 7 or 8 players on their team. Basically all their Americans except for Fisher. Also the Israelis. Kaspi went to the Sacramento Kings. Another player went to a team in Spain. You know, I mean, it just, you know, everything has basically turned over. Plus all the new Americans that they have, and Gal Mekel, who joined the team from the Galil Yon last year. And Haifa's the same thing. Haifa basically has 2 new Americans, new point guard, and that's a major change in the chemistry and the way they're going to play.
We'll talk about Omri Kaspi a little bit later, who is about to make his debut as the first Israeli ever in the NBA. But let's give you our starting lineups for this evening, some new names, and let's take a look at them right now. As you can see from Maccabi Haifa here, we have a bunch of new players. Dror Hajjaj, the point guard, who we backed up by Ben David last year. Davon Jefferson, Moshe Mizrahi, Jason Rich, and of course the man-child, number 8, the big guy in the middle. And the biggest question mark, probably, Jeremy Tyler. On the other hand, Maccabi Tel Aviv, they've got Wisniewski as the point guard, number 7. Perkins will be coming in off the bench. Yaniv Green, Guy Panini, the Israelis, and then Dior Fisher, and of course the leading scorer of the team, Alan Anderson, as we take a look at Shimon Mizrahi, the chairman of Maccabi Tel Aviv, David Federman, the other owner there. These guys really under the microscope this year, this past week. We'll talk about that more, of course, about this brewing scandal in Israeli basketball.
The way you make your bed is the way you got to sleep in it, baby.
Exactly, and hopefully we will talk about that later on the show, but right now we are prepared for some basketball. Those starting lineups there, of course, to remind you, the Russian rule applies here in Israel. The domestic games, you have to have at least 2 Israelis on the court at any time. The starting Israelis for Haifa, Hajjaj, and Mizrahi. Tel Aviv has got Panini and Green. Panini, new guy also on that team, not expected to get a lot of minutes in Europe, but in the league games here finds himself in the starting lineup.
Yeah, well, in Europe, Maccabi Tel Aviv starts with 5 Americans. They don't even go with any Israelis on the team at all. And, I mean, it's just turned into a team that's basically not an Israeli team at all. It doesn't bother them. It doesn't bother me either.
We saw just moments before when they were introducing the players here. Now Maccabi Tel Aviv player Deron Perkins getting a statue from his former team here and getting a nice round of applause. Really
great kid.
Applauding him for an MVP season. He was the best player in the league a year ago, and now his first game in Tel Aviv facing his former team. So a lot of emotions there for him.
Great kid, great player, great everything, bad decision.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how many minutes he gets this year. Not even starting tonight. This is the guy who carried Maccabi Haifa down the stretch a year ago. And it'll be very interesting. All of the pressure now really on the shoulders of Davon Jefferson. Last year, he came off the bench beginning of the year. This year, they're going to be expecting him to carry the load, Semi.
Yeah, the whole thing is Davon will get his. The whole thing is, will the other players, will Jeremy Taylor hit the boards hard? Will Richie get out and make his jump shots? Will Jesse score good points? Will Moshe Mizrahi's a very important player on the team. He opens up the defenses with his three-point shooting. Dror Hajjaj with his penetration and on the ball steals, picking up the ball full court. Very, very good player.
So very interesting here to see only 2 returning starters for Haifa. That would be Mizrahi and Jefferson. And for Tel Aviv, Fisher really the only returning starter. So you're looking for a brand new team essentially for both sides.
Yeah, without a doubt. And they're going with 2 big guys. They're going with Fisher and they're going with Yaniv Green. They'll probably put Fisher on Davon Jefferson. By the way, Davon's mom came over from the States, from LA. She's been here. She's going to be here for a couple of weeks. She loves Israel.
And
Sophia.
And we are ready now to begin our season, and it is underway. Haifa ball. Nice tip there by Tyler. And Hajjaj leading the offense for Maccabi Haifa here. Jason Rich touching the ball for the first time. He's going to be key for this team. And there is Jefferson with the move. He gets fouled by Fisher.
Devon took the ball, looked for an opening, used the pick, got the step on Fisher, went to the basket hard, got the contact and got the call. Very, very smart move because Fisher's basically their shot blocker.
And Jefferson is going to go to the line, where a year ago he shot 68% from the line, but that's a deceiving statistic. Started out slow. By the end of the year, he really became a clutch player, even in the lane, getting to the line a lot and connecting. And he connects his first 2 of this year. 2-0 for Haifa.
You're seeing Dror's picking up his player full court. Kostovsky the whole court, pressing him on the ball. He's very good on the ball. Moshe likes to play the
team on him. Tyler early on, and they're battling for it. It will stay Tel Aviv.
And they're
ball.
5 seconds on the 24-second clock.
The court leader for Tel Aviv is Andrew Wisniewski. His first year here in Israel. The man graduated from Centenary.
Yeah.
The only man we know from there, Simi. 00, the chief Robert Parrish graduated from that college. So got some history from where he graduated. Nice move to the hoop by Anderson, and he gets it, and he's going to be the leading scorer for this team. He has been the guy who...
He's a very good player all around, does it all, goes right, goes left, shoots a jump shot. Very, very good fundamentally. Played for Tom Izzo at Michigan State.
And Jefferson working on Fisher, but help from Panini, and he rejects it from behind. Here is Anderson leading the attack. He's going to take it. Good defense there by Jefferson, and they're going to regroup with Wisniewski at the top. Wisniewski looking for Dior Fisher. He's going to work on Jefferson down low, and they regroup. 5 on the shot clock. Anderson's got to put it up, and he buries it.
Nothing but net. He can play.
Alan Anderson, definitely a player, making his first appearance here in Israel. This guy is definitely got some skills.
You know, in the right situation, he'd be playing in the NBA just now. And here we got Panini holding on Moshe Mizrahi. Sami Bakar, the head referee, making the call.
Alan Anderson, number 11, graduated in 2005 and played a bunch of years in Europe. Came here from Tzibona and making his debut in Israel. So far, very impressive. 5 points already. And there is Jason Rich out of the University of Florida State. He takes his first shot at the heat. No good. Rebound by Wisniewski. Going baseline, finds Anderson. Rotated out to Panini. Dior Fisher. Nice passing work there, but rejected by Jefferson. They're going to call a foul. Fans don't like it.
Neither does Jefferson.
Nice ball movement there, Maccabi Tel Aviv.
Yeah.
When you're starting a new team with new players, the big question always to me is chemistry, to see how they get along together. And so far, both teams looking okay. I mean, they seem to have been getting along quite well there on the court. We saw in our pregame how the Haifa players like each other personally. That chemistry has got to find itself in the court, and that, Simi, was ugly.
Wow. That looked like one of my exes.
Now, all air balls are ugly, but that one wasn't even close. I mean, and that hit every part of the rim and finally goes in. So 2 ugly shots. He gets one of them to go. And it is 6-2 for Tel Aviv. Haifa's got to get going this year, we believe. They were the best defensive team a year ago. Tyler to the hole. Hard contact there. Lots of movement. Nothing connects. Aggressive move by the youngster out of San Diego High School. Scored 28.7 points there. And there is Green finishing, but a little soft on defense there by Tyler.
Yeah,
he's not used to playing with the big boys.
Yeah, he's playing against men.
He is a man-child, we call him. The question is, will he be able to be a man among boys? Nice look there for Rick down below. He gets hacked, and that's Anderson.
Nice pass by Davon into Rick. They ran part of the flex, rubbed his man off.
Davon Jefferson, the reigning 6th Man of the Year award winner in Israeli basketball. If one thing is guaranteed, he's not going to win that award against him. He's not going to be coming off the bench this year. He's the star. He's the focus of this team. Haifa getting a clean sweep of the awards that we year ago. Avi Ashkenazi, also Coach of the Year. Deron Perkins, the MVP. And Jefferson, the 6th man. Jason Rich makes them both. Graduated in 2008 from Florida State. Played last year in Canto, Italy.
Yeah,
He's from Pensacola.
Yeah, a real good player for Leonard. Assistant coach Stan Jones. They all speak very highly of him.
The rebound by Anderson. Goes high over Rich. Rich is a 2-guard here, but undersized for that position. He's playing against Anderson, who's got a significant height.
Yeah, it's like the 3 inches of height, you know, 6'3" against 6'6", and Anderson's very athletic too.
If you look all around here, Tel Haifa undersized almost in every position here. You got Jefferson on Fisher. You got Hajjaj on Wisniewski. Really, Tel Aviv definitely, physically at least, has got a great advantage. Hajjaj tight on him here. They go for the pick. They go for the roll. Dish it out to Fisher. He misses it, but
that's his second on Davon.
Never foul a jump shooter. That's what they say. No, actually, #1 on Davon Jefferson.
#1?
Yeah, that's his first over there. We've got 1 against Tyler, 1 against Jefferson. And Avi Ashkenazi calling over his project here, who Jeremy Tyler featured in this offseason on ESPN and Sports Illustrated. Really very rare when players in the Israeli League get such international attention.
Well,
really,
the whole thing is he left going into his senior year in high school. That's never been done before.
A year before, Brandon Jennings took off skipping high school, going for a year in Italy, got picked up in the draft this year. Tyler taking it an extra year, 2 years.
Here he has a 2-year contract, from what I understand.
The rules, of course, now you can only go to the NBA when you are 19 years old. So players either have to go for a year to college or play elsewhere. And this is where he's going to try and earn his chops. And a nice move there by Rich, but he cannot finish it. And it'll leave Maccabi ball. Haifa so far 4 for 4 from the line, but 0 for 4 from the field. And as you can see on your screen there, the rebounds, we talked about that height differential. All the height. Tel Aviv boys, and that's the first rebound for Maccabi Haifa. And of all people, it's Hajjaj. Rich goes all the way, and he gets fouled. So Haifa going to go back to the line where they have all their points tonight. early impressions.
Jason's really upset with himself. He missed the shot that he should have before. Now he had a layup. He got hit, but he feels he should have made the shot anyway. You know, he's a very special kid.
Now, a year ago, Maccabi Haifa was the top defensive team in the league, giving up under 80 points a game, around 78 points a game. And they led that league the entire season. Now, that was their style. This year, of course, they're losing a lot of good defensive players. Gur Porat is gone. Brooks Sales is gone. And so this year, they're really going to have to score more if they're going to want to compete.
Yeah, and Perkins was an excellent defensive player.
Yeah. So a lot of their defensive stoppers gone. In their place, more offensive-minded players, which could make for a more exciting brand of basketball. But,
yeah, but you have
it's going to raise the ante.
You have to understand, by Sales not being here and Jason here, I mean Taylor here, it's a much softer team because Brooks was very, very physical.
Brooks and Sales in Ashkelon. Nice move there by Anderson, but taken away by Jefferson. We got a 3-on-1 break. Rich to Jefferson. Get ready, folks. Double hand jam. Fans go crazy.
That got his mother out of her chair.
And that is the first field goal for Haifa, and they really needed that to also get the fans into this thing and also finally get going. Fisher underneath. Can't get it. Gets his own rebound. Big height advantage for Tel Aviv. Taking advantage of it. Panini for three. Gets it. Nothing but net. And just like that.
That's what I was talking about, the being physical under the basket, picking up those tough rebounds, the ones that are in traffic. Anybody can get a rebound all by themselves.
Hajjaj gets bumped by Wisniewski.
And that's a shooting foul. That's 2 shots. They're in their 5th foul of this period. Half the period gone, they're already at 5 fouls.
And that is good news for Haifa. 5 fouls against Tel Aviv in 5 minutes. And they're going to go to the line where they are 5 for 6 so far. Dror Hajjaj, a veteran of this league. The guy's 31 years old.
Great guy, great kid. And I know him since he's like 15 years old, when he's playing for the youth program in Rishon LeZion. Then he went to Elitzur Bat Yam. Then I brought him over to Givat Shmuel, then to Apol Tel Aviv, and then over and over and all over, and then Jerusalem and Europe. And it was a great kid. You know, everywhere he's gone, he's been liked.
A year ago, like we mentioned, really a dream season in many ways for Haifa. They finished 2nd at Tel Aviv in the championship, losing on the final game. And if it weren't for a crazy 3-point shot by Brian Tobin and Holon, they would have won the cup as well. Expectations high this year. And they're going to get a good sense early on this season. 2-on-1. Rich, Jefferson, foul, and it counts.
Yeah, nice pass by Jason Rich. He brought the man over to him, and he gave it to him just in time, so he didn't have enough time to recoup and block the shot.
Jefferson takes the hit and finishes it, and he is one of the best in the league at doing that, being able to absorb the blow and finish the play.
And here comes Perkins and Lasma.
Deron Perkins making his first appearance in the league as a player from Maccabi Tel Aviv against his old teammates here. His old partner in crime, Jefferson, at the line. It'll be interesting to see their interaction. The other player coming in is Stefan Lasme, the first African player ever to play on Maccabi Tel Aviv, a native of Gabon. And he went to the University of Massachusetts, played for your old pal Calipari there.
No, he played for Lapis. It was before or after Calipari. He's not that old.
And the fans giving Deron Perkins a mixed welcome here. Some cheers, some cheers. You got to expect that. Very popular player here in Haifa. They're sorry he's not wearing green tonight.
Oh, yeah. He's a great kid, too.
Deron Perkins, part of Maccabi Tel Aviv in this offseason. Just got back, actually, a few days ago from their tour of the United States where they played against the Knicks and the Clippers. Perkins notched a triple-double against the Clippers. He goes straight to the hole, and a foul and a bucket. So making his presence felt right from the get-go here.
Davon's second foul.
Reminding the fans here what they're missing out on, and indeed that is foul number 2 on Davon Jefferson. The captain, Ido Kushikaro, in the game, replacing Jeremy Tyler. Ido Kushikaro, a father of 2 young kids, featured in the cover of the season preview on Ma'ariv newspaper, and really a guy that we've followed for a long time. Not the most offensively gifted, but he makes up for everything with his defense and his hard work. A real grinder under the hoop. Perkins completes the three-point play. Dror Hajjaj finds Jefferson, pulls up for the J.
Nice play. Nice play. Jefferson's man came to help. Dror's what we call threw a skip pass and 2 points for Davon.
And Davon's got 9 points early on. He is showing early on this season they expect him to be the man, and he is so far. 9 points in this first quarter. Oh. Tough move there. Rebound by Jefferson, and he gets fouled on the rebound. So Davon Jefferson all over the place.
Did you see what Rich did? Mason took an unbelievable. I hope they show it again. He went high up, pumped it, and Davon, like a good big man with the thought, followed it up. Really,
Davon with a chance now to get double figures already. As the confetti rains in from the crowd, and it rolls in and up for Davon. One of the reasons that Jeremy Tyler says he came here, they go way back from California days.
Kind of a zone 2-3 zone.
Perkins fakes it, goes out to Panini. He takes the three. No good. The rebound by Anderson. Wow.
Oh,
and he throws it down with authority. He's a player, Simi.
Yeah, you could say that.
Michigan State played with the Bobcats in the NBA for a couple of years. He's got NBA pedigree. And now here in Tel Aviv, he sure is a force to be reckoned with this season. Showing sparks of it in the preseason, and already tonight, leading scorer for Tel Aviv. He's got 7. And here he goes, taking on the world all alone. They're not going to call a travel on that, and Ashkenazi going crazy. Anderson gets it back. Calling for an isolation. Out to Perkins for 3. Air ball. Here goes Davon. Get Mizrahi all alone with the finish, and he got it. First points for Mizrahi in this young season.
Perkins is hurt. We don't like to see that.
Perkins a year ago, of course, had a tear in his abdomen, missed 6 games, including the cup.
Yeah.
And that's when the Ben David came up big. As we take a look here at the replay, Mizrahi getting the toss from Jefferson, so he gets an assist to that, to his stat line.
Let me tell you something, man. This gym is sold out.
It is indeed. Full capacity, 3,000 strong. And speaking of strong, here comes Ben Strong.
Yeah. This is his 2nd year.
And expected to get more minutes this year. Really was a end-of-the-bench guy a year ago. But Ben Strong, who the first Native American ever to play in the Israeli League, was the Division III Player of the Year for Guilford College. And so one of the only 2 guys who signed a 2-year contract. First year really sat on the bench. This year they're expecting a lot more from him.
Good luck.
He's going to be platooning with Tyler in that center position. He's got size. Raviv Limonad making his appearance here. Misses the jumper.
He's never seen a shot he didn't like. Just came off the bench, just shoots it up.
And here is, we see the first appearance. As
Dror Hajjaj.
The shot. First appearance by Jesse Palot Rosa. Interesting ball player, number 11 over there with the dreads, played on the Puerto Rican national team. And get this, he's a football player.
Oh my God, again!
That's a slam dunk, baby. Look at that thing. Anderson going baseline, throwing it down with 2 hands, and the foul. He's a man.
He's a man. He can play. How they didn't cut off the baseline is beyond me.
And we're getting a look at all these new faces. David Blumenthal making another appearance with Maccabi Tel Aviv.
Third time around.
Third time around. Played for Le Mans in between in France. And he is a fan favorite over here. Actually considered an Israeli in some ways.
His dad is Jewish. You know, what can I tell you?
Anderson misses it. Kushikara with the rebound. You see Jesse Pelot Rosa, the guy signed with the New York Jets of football, didn't make the team after an injury and then went back to basketball. So one of those guys who switched over, sort of like Charlie Ward there, who won the Heisman playing football and then comes over and went over the Knicks and played basketball. Limonad tries to save it. Ball bouncing everywhere. Lots of mayhem, and Tel Aviv ends up having it. And Perkins has the ball with 1.5 minutes to go here in the first period over here.
They're out of there.
Pick. Out to Perkins. Anderson. Limonad. Never saw a shot he didn't like, but he liked that one very much.
The guy, Fish is sending a back pick on the man inside, and he's standing in there for more than 3 seconds. That should be called. Maccabi Tel Aviv has gone into their 2-1-2 zone. Obviously, they feel they don't know how to play defense.
Less than a minute to go. Tel Aviv up by 5. Rich working on Limonad. There is Strong. Nice pass down below to Kujikaru, who gets hacked by Lasma. Nice look there by Ben Strong. And we have a substitution here for Haifa. Amit Ben David making his first appearance in for Jorah Hajjaj. They are going to together, hopefully, fill in the absence of Perkins in that point guard position.
And it's a 3-point game. 3-point, 4-point game.
It is a 4-point game, 23-19 for Tel Aviv. And we're really getting to see all these players are getting a chance to show tonight for both sides. Perkins. Blumenthal, he loves the shot, and he drills it. That guy is a deadly three-point shooter. You got to put a man in his face.
That's all he can do. That's what he does, and he does it well. He can shoot.
Perkins on Rich. Benda asking for the pick from Strong. Delivers it. Pelot Rosa.
Oh, man.
And it'll stay there, ball. Pelot Rosa, the
6
reigning
seconds.
MVP of the Puerto Rican League. Played on their national team, along with Carmelo Lee, a man we saw a year ago playing with Ramat Gan. A dual citizen of the U.S. and Puerto Rico. And there is Pini Gershon in your screen. We'll be talking about him at halftime and the scene he created at Madison Square Garden this past week. Rich pulls up, tough shot. And the rebound is Perkins. He does it all, Perkins. Leading the attack.
Last
now.
shot. So last 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3,
Blumenthal
2,
for 3.
1.
Drills it. Nice look by Perkins, and that hurts. As Tel Aviv drills the 3, and they take a 9-point lead. So it was a close game. It's now a 29-20 lead for Tel Aviv, and those are the little things, Sammy. Perkins knows it, played the time perfectly, and Blumenthal drilled it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you got to be playing tougher defense. You got last year the Haifa team, Maccabi Haifa team was known for its in-your-face, in-your-gut defense, and I don't see it this year. I really don't, not so far in this first quarter. You can't be giving up 29 points at home in your first quarter. You got to be playing hard.
And Haifa scoring 20 points, half of those, Simi, by Davon Jefferson. We know what we're going to get from Davon. He is a superstar. But how are they going to get through this season when he really is their only consistent offensive weapon?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. We need Rich to step up, and we need one of the point guards underneath the basket, which is something that we don't have this year. I mean, last year we had what's his name? Sales and Kujikaru under the basket, you know, and Davon coming off the bench. And it's a whole different story now. I mean, Jeremy Taylor, he's a kid, but he has to play like a man.
Well, he's a big kid. He's 6'11", 260, but still some of that baby fat there. Really hasn't grown into his body yet. Alan Anderson leading the way for Tel Aviv. He's got 9. Blumenthal with those 2 quick threes gets 6. And then a bunch of other guys tied with 3, so more of a balanced attack for them as we get the second quarter underway. We got to be fair about this. Of course, you know, you couldn't have drawn a tougher opponent in the opening game.
Oh, without a doubt.
Maccabi Tel Aviv.
Without a doubt, agreed upon 100%.
So Maccabi coming out now and showing us the full plethora of their players. We're going to take our first look here at Chuck Aitzen. And he was their #2 scorer in the preseason. A guy who really also deadly left-hander.
Yeah, Aitzen out of South Carolina. Good player. Started in the smaller teams, worked his way up, has had good seasons. He's a good player. You know, 6'6", 6'7".
The all-time leading scorer at the South Carolina.
B.J. Mackey.
B.J. Mackey, who was a player in Maccabi Haifa a year ago, playing in Afula this year, along with Gur Parat. Perkins, fadeaway, tough shot. And there's Pilot Rose with the defense, getting the rebound. You know he's physical. He was a football player, so you know he can take a hit.
Maccabi Tel Aviv in their zone defense. No, actually, well, matchup zone.
Ben David calling for the pick. Cannot get it. They're going to go out to Jesse Pilot Rose. Rich open for 3. No good.
Rich got to make those.
But Kujikara gets it back, and he goes up strong. That's Ido Kujikara for you. That's his bread and butter.
Jason Rich has to make these shots.
Moshe Mizrahi takes a seat next to us here on the substitution bench. He'll be coming right in. And they're going to need his shooting this year for a team that's going to be struggling offensively. A deadly three-point shooter when he can get open. Blumenthal down low. Tough shot. Oh, and it almost goes. And there's Kujikara with another rebound. With Brooke Sales missing, a lot of that chores, defensive chores, are going to fall on the broad shoulders of Ido Kujikara. Pilot Rosa. Jefferson inside, working on 3 players. And they're going to call a jump ball. Had a little bit of a move there, but then they collapsed on him as 3 players.
Too many people in the area. You know, Davon has to understand it's a one dribble thing in that area, if a dribble at all.
We've got 8.5 to go in the half. As Simi Rieger and me, Aaron Heller, welcome you to our broadcast on triangleinternet.tv. And Simi, this year we're not only on the internet, we are also on your TV screens. Jewish Life Network on the Direct TV network. 25 million homes in America get to see Pilot Rosa get his first 2 points for Tel Aviv. And think about that, Simi. Not only we have all of our viewers from last year, but a bunch more now tuning in to watch the games here in Israel, and we're very happy to have them with us.
Well, that means you're going to be famous, Aaron.
Well, I'm working with Simi Rieger.
Yeah, that's
that
right.
already makes me famous.
Infamous.
Notorious, perhaps. Tel Aviv up by 5 with 8 to go. Jefferson. A cutting Ben David who gets
Nice
an open
cut.
J. Gets the bank.
Nice move. Davon gave him a nice pass. They were all looking at Davon, and Ben David just saw them, turned their neck on him, and saw it go. A lot of back picks used by the Maccabi Tel Aviv offense. Short, but very effective. The kid missed the layup. Aitzen missed the layup, but he was open. It was a good offense.
Tel Aviv in the zone. Haifa having trouble penetrating it. And Jefferson again having to create something. Tough shot. No good.
It's 3 seconds on the 2 seconds on the 24-second clock. You had to get it up. We don't see a decent offense against the zone from the Haifa
with
team.
the rebound there, leading the attack. He's a triple-double threat anytime he's out there. And a bit strong. Stefan Lasme with the rebound, and they're going to call a reach-in foul on Moshe Mizrahi.
No, on Kujikaro.
On Kujikaro, my mistake.
That's okay.
It won't be the last. Let me tell you.
We got timeout TV.
That's us.
We're on TV.
We are on TV, and we are happy to be with you, not only on your internet TV, but on your real TV as well. On Jewish Life Network on the Direct TV program, and we'll be on some this year on the Sun Network in in Florida. So we're expanding, Simi. We are reaching out.
You know what my problem is? I expanded many years ago.
I'm sorry, that was a bad pun. I apologize.
I accept it. It's all in fun and fat.
All's fair.
You got to see, what's that, Jeremy Taylor's mom up there, and Sophia, Davon's mom, they're here, getting their kids settled in, cheering them on, giving some home cooking. You know
they need it. These guys away from home, it's hard to be away from mom's home cooking. We know the players enjoy throughout the year to be visited. Last year, Deron Perkins, his parents came all the way in from Alaska, from Anchorage.
I spoke to them a couple of weeks ago. They're doing fine. They're going to be coming over again, they told me. Probably in April, they said, sometimes like April. They come for a month, you know. I mean, Alaska's far.
Yeah, it's a long way, too. And they probably like to come in the winter, I'm guessing. Yeah. But Maccabi Tel Aviv and Maccabi Haifa, as you can see here, coming off a season in which Tel Aviv wins the championship again after losing it the year before to Holon. And when Maccabi loses the championship, that is major news here. They've only lost it twice since 1970, Simi.
Yeah, I really like this kid, Anderson. He's really shown me offensively and defensively and rebounding, all phases of the game, you know, that he can do it all. And you can see he understands the game also because of the way he looks for the holes on the team. It's interesting.
Perkins on Jesse Pilot-Rosa. Aidson trying to get his first points. Nice pass down low, but it's bouncy hoops here tonight. We remember that from a year ago. They've got a little bit of bounce in them. And the roll's not falling. And Haifa with a chance here, perhaps to tie for the first time. They're down by 3. They're calling the play. Pilot-Rosa, a swingman. He's got Limonad on him. Holds up. Mizrahi down to Kujikawa, and they ran out of time. They just lost track of the shot clock there. And that's to be expected on a new team. Chemistry, they're not used to each other yet. That's
Some of these kids weren't even in biology, I think.
But the good news is that was the first turnover of the night for Haifa, a category which was their Achilles heel last year. Led the league in turnovers. Perkins, tough shot, and he makes it. Oh, my goodness.
Wow, he had, Jesse was right in his face. Like good defense, and he made it anyway.
And Perkins goes for the steal, too. He's everywhere. Look at Limonad. We talked about it.
No. They called out of bounds.
They called it out of bounds. So Perkins, a triple-double threat anytime he steps out on the court. And Limonad with the steal. That was a gimme.
You can't give Maccabi Tel Aviv points like that. That's ridiculous.
Jefferson working on Blumenthal for 3. No good. And Abishkenazi's seen enough, and he's going to call timeout.
Well, before the game gets away.
Aidson for 3. Ben David trying to set up. Haifa down by 7. They call the foul on Limonad and Kujikawa. That'll be the first on Tel Aviv, so that will not be a shooting foul.
Timeout, Maccabi Haifa.
So you have a situation where they're struggling offensively, and then Jefferson, feeling everything's on his shoulder, takes an ill-advised shot for 3. And
yeah, well, you know, you got to understand also that Jason Rich is a very big factor in that team's offense. When you go scout Maccabi Haifa, you tell your players you can't give him a shot, so that opens it up for other people. Now that he's not on the court, it makes it easier for people to double on other things and close passing lanes.
And Jason Rich so far 0 for 5 tonight, yet to hit a bucket from the field in his opening game here for.
Did we mention that Jeff Rosen is here?
We didn't. That's a good thing we should. The owner of Maccabi Haifa here.
And you know what he told me to do right now?
Talk about merchandise.
Go buy my shirt.
We've been remiss.
And I keep telling him, give me one. And he says, buy one. He says, I pay you $100,000 every time you're on TV.
I'm sure that's.
And that's why it was on the internet, so he wouldn't have to pay me.
You make $100,000
each time.
I got to ask for a raise.
Yeah.
Anyway, Maccabi Haifa, one of the big differences they made in the offseason is losing some of that name. If you recall a year ago, Maccabi Haifa Heat We are
Yeah.
no longer the Heat, only Maccabi Haifa. There will be no confusion with the Miami Heat. No Dwayne Wade in this arena. So they changed their uniforms, they changed their logos, and that just means a lot more merchandise out there for you guys at home to pick up.
There you go.
There you go. Merchandising. It's all about the money. 5:16 to go. Haifa trying to regroup after that timeout. Come back with the same unit, except for Jason Rich out there looking to get some points as he goes to work there. Mismatch now. Jefferson's got Perkins. He's going to go to work. Tough shot. Got the help from Dior Fisher. Dior Fisher, a teammate of Perkins when they both played in Belgium together. Yeah. Now joining forces again in Tel Aviv. Good friends from back there. Hope that they don't hit the night scene too much together. Tel Aviv guys, notorious partiers. Perkins. Nice look for Blumenthal. And he gets fouled, so he'll go to the line.
Teron Perkins is the best point guard on the floor. I mean, it's not even close. I mean, I don't know what the Tel Aviv team is thinking about, but they signed him basically once Jerusalem got some money from, what was the name of the guy, Gior?
Guma Aguiar.
Yeah, Guma Aguiar, and they were scared he was
a millionaire putting a lot of money into Jerusalem sports. Perkins, though, this year, a lot of competition with the Andrew Wisniewski. He's also a very talented point guard, and they're going to be splitting time back there.
And then you got Gal Mekel, who they was playing in the Galil last year, and all of a sudden,
he's a third point guard.
You know, third point guard, and the kid was playing 30 minutes a game, and now he's playing 30 seconds a game.
And Gal Mekel had a great year last year for Galil in the Final Four. Almost knocked off Maccabi in the semifinals. But as we've seen so many times here, players come up, become stars in other teams, then Maccabi with their deep pockets comes and takes them. Jefferson the rebound. Goes for the kiss off the glass, and that was not a very nice, elegant kiss.
That was an ugly shot.
Nice pass there, Blumenthal. And Perkins is just feeding everybody there. I mean, he is head and shoulders above everyone else out there. And to add insult to injury, this guy, you know, not wearing green tonight, but showing Maccabi Haifa what they are missing out on. A very talented player. The reigning MVP of the Israeli League. A year ago, almost 16 points a game and over 5 assists and 5 rebounds a game. For Perkins, led the league in steals as well. All around. If he were a baseball player, they'd say he's a 5-tool player because he's really got it all.
He's a what?
5-tool player.
5-tool player?
Yeah, hits for power, fields, runs the floor, does everything. And
a very nice out-of-bounds play. Aitzen hits Yaniv Green underneath the basket for a layup, 3-point play. All of a sudden, it's a 10-point game.
Just like that.
Yep.
Maccabi Haifa has not led once this game. They've been behind the entire time. They got as close as 3. But now they definitely want to trim that lead before halftime. Tel Aviv is not a team you can let them get a lead because it is very hard to come back against them.
Well, what Tel Aviv has done is they've concentrated so much on Davon, and nobody else has really picked up the glove, you know, to become the offensive force to open up the game. Rich.
It will remain Haifa ball. Banging his own head, Rich. Having a little bit of a frustrating start here tonight for him.
He got punched in the head, he told the ref. Kind of matchup zone.
Scored 8.4 points a game a year ago, Mizrahi, and had a couple of games where he scored close to 20. Really hot and cold year for him. They need him more consistency out of him this year. Kajaj, tough shot. Aitzen with the rebound.
Maccabi Tel Aviv has managed to take Haifa out of their game.
And that hurts.
Yeah.
14-point lead on the Chuck Aitzen 3. His first points of the game. So a bounce for attack for Tel Aviv. Nobody in double figures, but they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players have scored for them. Very deep team.
Lempa's on the bench, didn't even dress today.
Rich pulls up. And he banks that one in.
Oh, happy birthday, Jason.
You got to call that one in the hood.
Happy birthday. Got a smile on that one. But we'll take it.
He missed his first 6. He'll take it any way he can. Theo Fisher. And it looks like Hajjaj is trying to cover both of them there. Yaniv Green. Meticulous move. And the rebound by Tyler. Hajjaj. Tyler running the court. Down low. And Rich trying to get going. Inside to Jeremy Tyler.
Yeah, gave him a nice pass. The kid has to go to the basket, because even if he doesn't get the ball, the weak side help is going to come and help on him. And then the opposite side, the skip pass is open. He has to understand that if he doesn't get the ball, he just has to keep on moving.
Talked to the Maccabi Haifa management before the game about this guy, Jeremy Tyler. Talent is there, no doubt about it, but it is raw talent. I believe that a year ago he played in high schools. He's got a lot of fundamentals to catch up on, and that's what he's hoping for these next 2 years to prepare him for the 2011 draft. And there you have it. First point for Jeremy Tyler as a professional.
Haifa's gone into a zone.
Fisher. And he gets hip checked by Tyler. Goes for the first fake we saw, and Fisher got him airborne and took him to the hole. Perkins, Aitson, no good, gets his own rebound. And Fisher got it. They're just getting all the bounces. Jason Rich emerges somehow from there. Hajjaj, nowhere to go, and they have to regroup. Mizrahi with the fake. Nice little scoop, and a throw down by Jefferson with his left hand.
And I just saw Sophia's mom jump out of her seat.
The human highlight reel. And just like that, they come back. Second time we've seen this. A highlight reel by Jefferson, and Maccabi Tel Aviv with a dagger to the heart. A minute and a half to go. They're up by 11. And he walked. But Ashkenazi cheering on his young stud there, saying, you know, it's all right. You're taking the aggressive. You're trying to go for it. As you can see there, he's got a turnover and a point. Despite all the hype about Jeremy Tyler, the features in ESPN, the write-ups in Sports Illustrated, Haifa is focusing and saying, we are not expecting this kid to be a savior. He's a project. He's here for 2 years. They're going to be patient with him, and it looks like they're going to have to be.
Yes, I mean, he just has to get tougher, physical, mentally. He has to get tougher. He has to come and practice and work out more. I hear he's blown off practices. He has to start doing the things that's going to make him into a better player.
And we look inside the huddle there. We cannot hear them, unfortunately. We hope to have that feature for you later on in this season, where we can hear Avi Ashkenazi talking to his troops. As you can see there with his assistants, Elad Hassin and Nikki Gorka. Haifa, among all the teams in the league this year, Simi, with all the changes, one of the most consistent teams. They've really only added 4 players. Same coaching staff, relatively little drama in the offseason compared to the other teams who really had total overhauls.
Well, Perkins not signing with the team was dramatic to them. I mean, it was really a kick in the head. I mean, you know, they really wanted him, and you can understand why. I mean, you know, and also you want consistency. You want to build on things. You want guys to be there for longer than a year or 2 or 3. That shows also the character of the kids. You know, I mean, that's a very important thing. I'm sure a guy like a Perkins would really help a kid like Taylor.
Yeah.
For example, teaching him all the fine points, things like that.
But now he's teaching them the hard way from the other side. Lemonade and greed, the Israelis. As we close in on a minute left.
Timeout? Timeout Tel Aviv.
That's Pini Gershon over there.
Yeah.
Wiping the sweat from his brow, and it is a scorcher in here, Simi.
Almost
no air conditioning in this arena
almost
here.
as fat as I am. You know?
As we take a look at those Maccabi Haifa dancers, back for their second year, and with a new repertoire, a new music. They're playing Blues Brothers now.
Need somebody.
I want to see you out there boogieing like John Belushi.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's in the grave. Yeah, John Belushi. Yeah, what he was doing, boy, that's frightening. Man, cannonballs, ups and downs. But, you know, I mean, that's this is a packed house, you know, first game. We'd like to see the closer score. And I think it's important that we close out the first half. The Haifa team closed out the first half in a positive direction.
You'd never like to go down double digits in the half. And, of course, they're playing a very tough team here. A year ago, Simi, you and I were here for a major event here when Haifa only hosts Tel Aviv once a year, and that was a great game. Packed attendance here, big flags all over the place, a real celebration, and Haifa wins for only the 6th time in, what, 50 years that they've been playing?
632,000 years,
yeah. So when you beat Maccabi Tel Aviv, it's a big
party. Yes.
And that was really perhaps the highlight of the regular season. Of course, then you go in the playoffs, knock out Bnei Sharon, upset Jerusalem in the semis, and lose to Tel Aviv in the finals. Blumenthal misses. Tyler with the rebound. Jason Rich now bringing up the ball.
Maccabi in a man-to-man zone. Maccabi Tel Aviv in a man-to-man zone, a man-to-man defense.
Trying to get a shot. Down to 5 on the shot clock. They're going to have to force it. And it's thefted by Alan Anderson. Limonad to the hole. Scoops. Gets it. So instead of getting 2, you give up 2, and you're down by 13 with 29 to go. It looks like they're not going to be going for a 2-for-1 here, Simi.
It's a foul. That's only the 3rd foul of the quarter. Perkins is out. Lasma is in.
And Wisniewski going to be
coming in also. Also, Aitzen coming in.
Wisniewski played a year ago in Russia, where he averaged 14.5 points.
For who? Oral Great?
Oral Great. I don't know how great they were, though.
You know how frightening that place is?
And you're in the Euros. I mean, that's the guys coming to Israel, you know, at least they're going to have a better social life, you know. There's Tyler. He's got the mismatch. Doubled up, though. Nowhere to go.
He has to pass the ball. Pass the ball back. The kid next to you comes down and doubles down on you. Give it right back.
And Jefferson comes back in with 2 fouls. There's one thing they don't want is him picking up a 3rd with 14 seconds to go. But he comes in for Tyler. Rich, 14 seconds to go. They're looking for DJ. Rich, tough shot. Gets it. With Stefan Lasme in his face.
The end of the quarter. And it's an 11-point game.
45-34 for Tel Aviv lead. It could be worse, but it wasn't really great.
They gave up 16 points in the second quarter. It was 29 at the end of the first quarter, but they didn't score enough. I mean, that's a problem. And, you know, I mean, Haifa has to get their defense together and their defensive rebounding, you know, and being more physical off the boards. It's very, very important.
Let's take a look at our top scores for the half, if we can. And there they are. Davon Jefferson leading the way with 12. Rich coming on strong at the end to get 8, and then Kushikazu 4. Limonad ends up with double figures with 10, and Alan Anderson, of course, 9. Blumenthal 7. Green 6, and Perkins 5. A balanced attack for Maccabi Tel Aviv, and they've got a lot of weapons. They have a lot of weapons.
Yeah.
Haifa, really, Jefferson and Rich are going to have to fill in for the gap by Perkins.
And somebody else is also going to have to pick up their game. And I wish it would be Moshe Mizrahi, because he's the type of kid that can knock down 3 or 4 threes in a row to put them back in the ball game like he did a couple times last year. He's a very important player. matches up size-wise with the players in Maccabi Tel Aviv.
We take a look now at the other halftime stats, and the big figure over there, the three-point shooting. 7 for 14, 50% clip for Tel Aviv. Haifa, just 1 for 8. Last year, that was one of their strong points. Also from the field, 38%, 73% from the line. Struggling over there. We see the bench scoring as well. Essentially, clean sweep there for Tel Aviv, leading in all departments. And a lot of that due to Jerron Perkins.
Yeah, also defensively, they stripped. They held teams to one shot. They did a lot of rebound, transition offense. Anderson also on the set game was very, very difficult to stop, size-wise and talent-wise.
So it was 45-34 at the half. Now we're going to send you to our halftime presentation, a story about the Haifa team. We gave you a little tease earlier on. Here is Dana Dar with a behind-the-scenes look at the team in Haifa. Simi and I'll be right back. Enjoy.
After a long summer break, the action is finally returning to Haifa. Maccabi kept some of its core players, added some additional talent, and this season promises to be just as exciting as the last one. So come on, let's meet the players.
Hello, my name is Davon Jefferson. My name is Jesse Rosen.
Hi, my name is Dror Hayat. Hello. And again, Judge.
I'm Jason Rich.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Tyler.
Hello everybody, I'm Moshe Mizrahi.
Todd Golden.
Amit Ben David, Southern accent, West Coast.
My name is Ben Strong.
My name is Ido Kujikarro.
What age did you start playing basketball?
I was probably like 5 years old. I wasn't any good.
We have basketball blood in our family, so I can imagine as soon as I was able to, he kind of had a basketball in my hands.
When I was in 6th grade, I was the same height as 8th grader, so I wasn't much taller than my own classmates, but when I really got taller than the average person, then I realized, like around 9th grade when I was 6'9", I'm like, okay, I'm just a tall guy. I'm taller than everybody.
I think 5th grade, because my mom said it's a nice sport and she didn't like soccer, so really.
I started playing basketball in 10th grade, blocking shots and rebounding. That's all I did. 12th grade, as I started to blossom and really came into my body and everything, then that's when I realized I probably can make a lot of money out of this, so I'll probably pursue this.
You're still young, you're still growing. How tall do you think you're going to be?
I pray every day, hopefully I get to around 7'4". I'll be cool at 7'4".
Do you have any rituals that you do before a game?
Not something that I want to talk about. I do the same things in the game day, like I'm walking, eating, practicing, go back, pray a little bit in the morning, and sleep.
Yeah, I always read, mostly my Bible. I always do that before the game.
I guess I'd put my right shoe on before my left shoe, get my right ankle tape before my left, small stuff like that, but nothing too serious.
My ritual is no ritual. I don't believe in no superstitions.
Same routine. You will see my face before the game, and it's just simple.
And do you get emotional after the game?
I get emotional during the game. Once I'm going up and down the court, then I start getting emotional. But until I step on that floor, real quiet and simple.
We asked the players what kind of role each one plays on the team, and the answers were pretty much the same.
Funniest guy. Todd, he's very sarcastic, man.
Probably say Todd Golden.
I don't know. Everybody over here act like old men, Ben Strong is hilarious. Ben Strong is very funny to me. Jesse Rosen is ridiculously funny.
I think that Jesse Plotrosa is the funniest guy in this team.
Oh, Bender. Man, I never seen a guy that never talks, man. This guy never says a word. He like 31, 32 years old. Man, dude don't talk at all. Like, he come in, do his sit-ups, do his abs, do his push-ups, get some shots up, go like, hey, Bender, what's up? Hey, you gonna say anything? What's up, Bender? Hey, man, that man don't talk, man. He's a serious guy. Bender is the most professional. He jokes and he laughs once a month, but he's just real serious, gets the job done.
I'm a hard worker. I'm not more talented than like most of the players that are playing.
So I gotta work hard and be serious every time to be the best, or the best I can be.
Who's the prankster on the team? I have to give that title to Moshe Mizrahi.
Moshe.
Cool.
He switched my phone to like a different language.
Sometimes it's not so funny.
Moshe. I call him slow-mo. Because he moves in slow motion. When he's playing, he moves in slow motion.
Guaranteed.
With a different look, an offbeat look at this new team of Maccabi Haifa. A lot of interesting characters there. Now we know that Moshe Mizrahi is the jokester on the team, so that's good information. And joining us now here in our booth is Maccabi Haifa owner Jeff Rosen. We just saw a bunch of the new guys, and they look to be happy. They look to be having a good time. Are you happy with them?
I'm happy. Welcome to a new season. Looking forward to it. Tough first half, but we got to rally. Come back in the second half. We'll be okay.
So a lot of changes in the offseason. We were talking about that throughout the first half. Of course, the most dramatic of it, losing Deron Perkins, and of course he has a great performance here in the first half. How much of an impact is that going to be on the team?
Well, it's transformative. Perkins was the MVP in the league, dominant player. We saw him play many minutes today in the first half. Played very well. He played more of a classic point guard, which was interesting. With us, he was more of a swing and a 1-2. We've got a young team, a lot of young Americans with our veteran Israelis. It's going to take us a good part of the season to get it together, but we'll be there in the end.
But the concept is different now, Mr. Rosen, because you went from an American point guard, a dominating player like Perkins, to Dror Hajjaj, who I personally love, but it's all of a sudden it's an Israeli, two Israelis, not as dominating on the court. Other players are finding, I think, Deron made the other players a lot better. Dror and Ben David are having a tougher time now.
Sure. Well, it's a different offense. Hajjaj, runs. He's more of a classic point guard, and he's got to get the entire offense going. It was Perkins' offense. Perkins would make it run. Hajjaj has to get the other four guys involved.
All right, I'd like you to tell me the Jeremy Taylor story. How did this come about, the Jeremy Taylor story?
Well, we were contacted by Jeremy's agent last spring, and they indicated that we would get an opportunity. It took many months to work the deal out, but we cut that deal right around August, and we were excited. It wasn't an easy deal. It was hit or miss, but at the end we were able to sign him.
And it's a 2-year contract?
Excuse me?
A 2-year contract?
No, it's a 1-year deal, but we will have an option.
Now, he really made history, this kid. I mean, we know that now with the new rules in the NBA, you can only go when you're 19, but he's skipping his last year of high school. I mean, you guys essentially are creating a precedent here for something like this. And used to playing against kids, and now he's against grown-ups. I mean, it's a big challenge for him.
It is. Well, Jeremy's got the grown-up body. He's an 18-year-old guy. He's got a lot of growing up to do. But he's going to, do fine. And we would like to see other high school players develop like Jeremy and have a chance to come to Haifa and possibly Israel.
Do we have the patience here for a kid like Jeremy to see him grow?
Excuse me,
do we have the patience?
Let me ask you something, Jeff. Last year, really, this is our second-year broadcast, the second year in the top league, and in many ways a dream season a year ago, coming in a close second, also in the Cup, also in the league. Expectations high. Is there any way to be able to live up to those expectations after last season?
Well, why not? Final Four is our goal. It was last year. It is again this year. We'd love to get back to that title game. That's the goal. This team can do it. It's a different team. It's only the first game. We got a long way to go. We have a long second half to go.
And also, it's a different league this year, a completely different league. Ashkelon has become a much stronger team than they were last year. A lot of teams that were strong have become weaker than they have because of the financial end of it. Financially, are we stronger this year in Haifa?
In Haifa?
Yes.
Well, yeah, our budget is similar, Simi, to what it was last year. There are teams that are going up. There's some new teams in the league. I think you're going to take a good half a season to sort out the strong teams from the weak. We know we'll be on the strong side.
Beyond this season, you promised or vowed when you bought this team, you weren't here for the short run, you were here for the long run. Talk of Europe. Where do you see this team down the road?
Well, Europe was a little bit of an ambivalent decision this year. We were out, then we were in. At the end, we couldn't make it. If we qualify for Europe this year, we'll go next year.
It's a very important thing for the tradition of a team that you're building, like Jerusalem started with nothing, and every year they went back to Europe, and this is what we have to do here in Haifa also.
Yes, you have to build the nucleus, and certainly you have to get there. This team was in transition. We have a lot of returning players, and we have a lot of new players. We didn't build the team for Europe, but we took Europe into account.
How about the guys who last year were on this team, like Golden, like Strong, guys who really didn't have a major part? And you know, this year without Perkins, it all falls on Jefferson's shoulders. Who really has to step up for this team?
Yeah, very much. Well, you know, Rich has to do it. He's a little bit off in the first half, but I think he'll heat it up. Hajjaj needs to step up very much. We'd like to see Ben coming off the bench with Jeremy to give us a nice 1-2 punch. Ito had a great preseason. We look forward to Ito, you know, performing like that. And Jesse, you know, Jesse and Moshe in the number 3 spot have to give us points. Moshe had a tough first half, but him and Jesse, we're looking for big things out of both of them.
Well, thank you, Jeff. It's great to have you here, and we're glad to before we start the second half, and good luck for you and
thanks.
the team. And,
it's good to be back. We look forward to a great season with a great sportscasting group.
Well, thank you very much. That's Jeff Rosen, the owner of Maccabi Haifa here. His team down by 11, and we've got 3 minutes to go before the second half. And what we have delivered here right now is the stats for the first half. So let's just go over them with you here as we speak. And the new players here, as we see, making a difference. Alan Anderson for Tel Aviv. I mean, this is a guy, I know it's really early, but
he's a great player. I mean, you know, just looking at him, you see he has all the fundamentals. When he catches the ball, he knows exactly what he's going to do. He sees the court at the same time. He goes inside, he goes outside, he plays defense, he runs the floor. He's physical. He's a 6'6" too. I mean, he's an NBA player.
Let's talk now, Simi. We have a couple of minutes before the half begins, the second half, about the scandal which has really rocked basketball this week in Israel. Moni Fanan, the longtime manager of Maccabi Tel Aviv, tragically committing suicide a week ago, really sent the team into grief. And then, of course, all of this opens up this Pandora's box in many ways about this investment scandal, which teams, players, opposing players, officials, even referees are alleged to be involved. What kind of impact can this have in the long run?
A major impact. A major impact, I think it has. You have to understand that this is something that was common knowledge for 10, 15 years. It wasn't something that was done behind closed doors. And the only difference is the guy committed suicide because he couldn't come up with the money. He went and borrowed money from the wrong people. You know, and that's a major problem. But, you know, teams on other teams, players on other teams, soccer players are involved in it. Soccer teams are involved in it. You know, if they really go into it really deep, it'll really get ugly.
And very troubling. I mean, you hate to see this, a brand new season. You want to talk about basketball, but really all overshadowed by all of this going on outside. We know that the Israeli tax authorities launched an investigation. There have been calls for the Attorney General to investigate. We're still at the beginning of this. We have no idea how it could end.
And if somebody opens up and talks, it's going to be all over for the fellas. We're going to be seeing some guys behind bars. I'll be bringing them cigarettes.
You know, it's kind of unfortunate. It's ironic in many ways because this latest scandal took away attention from what happened the day before the suicide, which was that outburst by Penny Gershon in your favorite place, Madison Square Garden.
It was embarrassing.
Yeah,
I got
to
a lot.
Recap for our listeners, he was tossed out of the game, 2 technicals, and refused to leave the court.
Yeah, I got phone calls that were from friends of mine when I was growing up in Manhattan that were saying to me, Simi, it's the first time we've ever seen a rabbi come out of the stands to pull a coach off.
It sounded like a joke. What's a rabbi, coach, and ref doing on that?
And these were friends of mine from high school that I played ball with, and you know, it was just embarrassing. And I feel sorry about it, you know, because this isn't what we want to project, an image that we have here. And well, you know, I mean, Maccabi Tel Aviv, you know, they feel they can do that during the league, and they forgot they weren't in the league. And you know, the America is America. Rules are rules, and
rules are rules. There's no,
you know, you got to leave with 2 texts, no matter if you're Phil Jackson or if you're Simi Rieger.
A lot of people are saying, why is the man giving him a technical in preseason game? But you know what? It all doesn't matter. The minute you get a technical, if you're, like you said, Phil Jackson or Riley, people get tossed. That's the game, and unfortunately, it got pretty ugly over there. Tel Aviv playing 2 exhibition games in the NBA, losing both of them. So a lot of drama there, but so far they're winning tonight as we begin the second half here.
Yeah, but it's really a big budget difference between the two teams. Maccabi Tel Aviv's budget is $20 million, and I think the Haifa budget is closer to $3 million. So, I don't think we can even talk about the two things in the same breath.
Ben Strong starting out for Haifa this half at center instead of Jeremy Tyler. The rest of the starting 5 is as usual. And we see Aidson in there for Tel Aviv with Blumenthal. And the rest is the usual starting 5. So Jason Rich will inbound the ball.
You don't want to see this game. You want to see Haifa score at the beginning of this half. You want to see this game go close and not become a 15, 20-point blowout. Nice pass by Dror Hajjaj. Jefferson missed the chipping.
Limonad leading the attack now for Tel Aviv. No score yet. And Blumenthal takes the 3, no good. But bounced off the 24-second
no basket.
So no basket. Tel Aviv with the interesting lineup here. No real point guard out there right now. They've got Limonad and Anderson in the backcourt, Aidson, Fisher, and Blumenthal up front. So leaving both of all 3 of their point guards on the bench.
Yeah, but everybody can handle the ball and do what they have to do. And that was amazing. Nice pass. Nice pass.
Rich gets it.
Yeah, that's the first time I saw Anderson make a mistake. He had his neck towards the ball. He wasn't looking to see where the ball was.
And we see things flying in from the crowd here, as Haifa struggling to get back in here. They're going to call the foul on David Blumenthal. Dror Hajjaj out there now. Nice look to Ben Strong. He misses it.
God.
If your name is Strong, you got to go up strong. He's got to
try to dunk the ball. Man, break the kid's arms, man.
Debris continuing to fly in. Anderson goes Strong to the hoop, and he gets fouled by Strong. So
instead of 7, it's 11.
And that is a huge turnaround. Those things catch up with you by the end of the game. Rolls in and out for Anderson. Attempting to get into double figures with this bucket over here. And he does. 10-point lead for Tel Aviv. Jason Rich, technically a 2-guard here, but he's bringing things up for
he can handle. You're playing in the ACC. You got to be able to do everything.
And Ben Strong cannot hold on. So.
Oh man. Oh my God.
When you are overmatched, oversized against a team like Tel Aviv, you need your center to step up. And so far, Strong and Tyler having a hard time tonight. The call here is going to be an intentional foul against Moshe Mizrahi.
That's insane.
It didn't look too flagrant, but Aidson goes to the line, and where he misses, he'll have another throw, and then the ball from the sidelines for Tel Aviv. We are seeing a lot of depth from both teams, essentially on Maccabi Haifa. Their regular rotation, the only man we haven't seen yet is Todd Golden. Really, everybody else getting playing time here. They've got 2 bench warners, Ronnie Schreck and Asaf Cohen, but they don't usually get minutes anyway. So Haifa going 10 deep tonight. On the Tel Aviv side, we've seen essentially everybody besides Gal Meckel and Derek Sharp have yet to play, but they've also 10 players. Tel Aviv has got a roster of 13 people, so every game they have to sit someone out.
Oh my God, they're losing their minds. They called a flagrant foul against Dror Hajjaj. This is crazy, man.
Let's take a look at it again. That didn't look very flagrant.
Oh, he's pushing him away, man. What the hell?
And so the refs giving Maccabi a shot here, and you know, this is related to me. We were talking about at halftime. You know, refs make bad calls. It's part of the game. But with this scandal brewing in the background, you know that the fans aren't going to give them a break on that. Everything here, they're going to be chanting out there. Everything becomes suspect when you're living under that black cloud that's erupted after the suicide a week ago and gripping the sports world in Israel. Anderson from the corner drills it with a man in his face.
Michigan State. Tom Izzo should be proud of his players.
Michigan State a year ago making the finals of the NCAA tournament, sending their center Goran Sutan to the NBA. Jefferson gets it down low, working. Nice steal there by Mizrahi, stripping Anderson. Here's Hajjaj, inside to Strong. He's got the position, but he can't finish it. His own rebound, and he gets it. Way to stick with it, Ben. Ben tying his career high with 2 points. 1 for 4 from the field, but he stuck with it and got the offensive board there. Eitzim, nice defense by Rich to Mizrahi, and Haifa making noise of a comeback. Mizrahi has yet to score in 17 minutes. They need him big time.
Anderson picks up a foul. That's his 3rd.
And that's big. TV timeout.
That's us, right?
That is us indeed. So Haifa now making first little murmurs of a comeback perhaps. They're down by 12, but we're seeing a little bit of something we haven't seen so far, Simi. A little bit of energy there.
A little spark, yeah. Getting a little physical on the boards. You know, that's a very important thing for Strong, and it's important for the young kid, Taylor. These are things that they have to do. They have to go out and hit people and get hit, you know, and make the cuts and make hard cuts. And, you know, it's a big difference if you jump for a rebound by yourself or you jump for a rebound in crowds. You never know if the ball's going to pop out of the guy's hand. These are things that they have to understand and do, and they have to work on these things in practice.
And a year ago, Maccabi Haifa, one of the most physical teams in the league.
Without a doubt.
And their defense, so got them back. They fell behind, but they could just shut the clamps down on another team.
And that had a lot to do with Perkins. And B.J. Mackey at the beginning of the year. A tandem that was very, very good on the board.
B.J. Mackey, Haifa lost a lot of foreigners, but you know what, Simi? We talk about Israel, we broadcast here, and people getting them to know about the country and about where we are here in Haifa, Israel's 3rd largest city. It's nice to see the players who stayed here staying in Israel. Brooke Sales going to Ashkelon, B.J. Mackey going to Afula, Ron Parkins, Tel Aviv. So they're not here in Haifa, but they're still enjoying Israeli basketball.
I spoke to them, all of them. You know, it was nice seeing them all. It's a different situation than it was last year. It's just a shame it didn't continue.
So a lot of turnover with the teams here. And, of course, Tel Aviv, not only the top team in Israel, but the largest city where the players sort of all gather together, and a lot of them who even don't play there, that's where they get all together, and
where the good discos are.
In other words.
In other words, good restaurants, nice-looking women.
Rich, tough shot, gets it. Nice little floating shot there.
Yeah, well, he has that ability to jump in the air, smoke a cigarette, and then shoot it.
So hanging out there. He started out slow, but now rebounding. Jason Rich has 12 points. Back door, Eitzim. Nice look to Green, throws it down.
Nice play by Eitzim.
12-point game, 5.5 to go. It seems like any time Haifa gets a play, Tel Aviv just comes right back. Rich seems to have a little jump in his step now, feeling a little bit more confident after that rough start. And look at him here going to work, pulling up for the jumper. Can't get the roll. Aitzen with the rebound. Limonad. Shakes and bakes. Nice look inside to Green. Turns around with the left hand. He's fouled by Jefferson. That'll be number 3 on him.
The spacing of Maccabi Tel Aviv's players is very good. They open up the court, so you really can't. It's very difficult to double on somebody. Otherwise, the guy's wide open for a 3.
Yaniv Green, a veteran in the league and of the Israeli national team.
He's played more today than he has all last year.
In and out, Rich goes high. He's not a tall guy, 6'2", but he sure has some hops.
He sure does. Leonard loves him. Hamilton from Florida State and Stan Jones, I spoke to him about him. You know, they really liked him. Nice kid, you know, a lot of respect.
Jefferson on 2 people. Tough shot, makes it. They are tough shots, but those are Jefferson shots. Weaving, 360, spinning around, bouncing off of people. If it was anybody else, you'd say it was a bad shot selection, but not in this case.
Two-shot foul.
Substitution, Ido Kujikaro in for Davon Jefferson, giving him a breather.
Yeah.
And you know what you're going to get with Ido Kujikaro. 110% effort.
Yeah, okay.
Perkins gets the bucket. He's got 6 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and a couple steals.
Yep.
Kujikaro gets it. Moshe Mizrahi has yet to score. Pardon me, he has 1 bucket, 2 points. Oh, wow, that was tough. But that would have been a highlight reel. You had Jason Rich going up there, grabbing it with his left hand, and almost throwing it down. The turnover number 7. Let's take a replay at that. Mizrahi on top, and
a little too far.
Work, but geez.
A little too far.
Look at that kid.
Yep.
Perkins burrows in, tries to find Fisher, bounces off of him. Haifa ball.
Fisher has no hands.
4:15 to go in the 3rd. Pilot Rosa. Rich in traffic. Nowhere to go. It's pretty congested in there. Hajjaj wheeling and dealing underneath there. Almost gets the floater. Kujikaro with the rebound. And he holds on. Hajjaj, nice look to Strong, and he gets the dunk.
That's
nice
what he should have done the other time. Yeah. He cut to the open area. He dunked it.
10-point game. The fans starting to get into it. Capacity crowd of 3,000 here in Romema Arena in Haifa. And here's a turnover. Haifa trying to get it into single digits. Hajjaj out to Pilot Rosa. In and out. He gets his own rebound, though. And he goes to the hole. Strong. No bucket. Foul called before. And listen to the crowd here. Finally, something to cheer about.
It's the 4th foul of the period, and it's the 3rd against
Limonad. They call them the Green Apes, and they are going ape something right now. Jesse, drawer. Rosa open. Gets it. Big bucket, 7-point lead with 3 to go in the 3rd. And Haifa, you can feel it. The GM there getting the crowd going Pelot Rosa's got 5. Perkins to the hole. Crazy shot. No good, but he's fouled. And the boos raining down under on Perkins.
That's Dror Hajjad's 3rd foul. 2-shot foul.
So the fans with some choice words here for Deron Perkins. He's a pro, zoning them out.
Kid grew up in Alaska. If you sit in the corner and you're a bad kid, you freeze your butt off.
Makes them both. They're showing a fist.
Zone
we don't know what that means.
Zone defense.
Pelot Rosa, tough move, left hand, nice move there. Penetrating the lane there like a running back going through the hole in football. Back to a 7-point lead. Perkins with the penetration. It'll remain Tel Aviv ball. Petey Gershon. It's hot in here, but he's sweating for other reasons perhaps as well. That lead of his is dwindling away. Perhaps less confident than before. Aitzen out to Panini. Good D by Kujikaro in his face. Tough shot by Aitzen. And Ben Strong holds on to it. Good defense by Kujikaro. Rich. And they call a blocking foul. They do not go for the flop. And indeed, they are on the penalty. So Haifa with a chance to cut in. Let's take a look at that. Panini with a little Vlade Divac move there, going for the flop. And the Apes with something to cheer about. Wisniewski in the game. Tel Aviv is going to go for a 2-point guard attack with him alongside Perkins. Lots of ball handlers out there. Rosen.
How many points is Rich? Rich has how many points?
That is his 13th point for Rich. Behind Jefferson with 16.
And he started off really slow.
Still 4 for 11 from the field.
He's a real player, though.
He's coming on strong now. We have ourselves a 5-point game, the closest margin since early in the first quarter. The fans getting into it. Haifa Mir Yona Yahav here, watching among with 3,000 others, getting into it as well. Perkins, brick. But the rebound is Tel Aviv's.
And again, I talk about the fact that you have to be physical inside and can't get that, let that offensive rebound get taken.
And they turn over now. The 11th for Maccabi Tel Aviv. So in that department, Haifa leading the way. And a chance here to cut into that lead. Even more so, a $1:40 to go in the third. Kujikaro, strong move. Hit down low, no call. Working on Yaniv Green. 2 old workhorses.
Oh my God.
And they call the
Sami
carry.
Bachar. Sami Bachar.
I didn't even know they called a carryover anymore.
Oh man, this guy is.
Wisniewski yet to score. Green with the mismatch. Big height difference there. Wisniewski throws up a prayer.
24-second clock.
Tel Aviv out of sorts now. Haifa with all the momentum. Less than a minute to go in the third. And you see Petey Gershon over there.
Gershon talking to himself and getting some answers from himself.
deafening crowd here in Haifa. They're smelling upset. Nice move. Can't get the roll. And they're going to call Ben Strong over the top. Aggressively pursuing the rebound there. But if you're Avi Ashkenazi, you're not going to argue with that with Ben Strong. Playing hard, going for it. However, you are in the penalty
that's a
now.
good foul. If you're looking from a coach's point of view, like you said, it's showing that it's going aggressive to the boards. You like to see that out of your players. Just like to see the guy make the layup that he took before.
No good. Ben Strong with the rebound. A lot more fight and Strong than we're used to seeing. Jason Rich going to bring the attack up. Started off slow. Heated up lately. You know this guy's not going to take no for an answer. The youngest of 9 siblings. So when the going gets tough, he still manages to fight for what he wants.
And that's a foul on Perkins, 2 shots.
Foul number 3 on Deron Perkins. The game, the pace right now, Simi, reminding us a little bit of the team we saw last year. Grinding, hard defense, fighting for every bucket.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Ben David in for Hajjaj.
Hajjaj.
And it rolls in for Palat Rosa. He's got 7. It's a 4-point game. Tel Aviv's going to hold for a final shot. Perkins fakes.
Time's over. Time's over. Time's over.
They ran out of time. Perkins takes his eye off the shot clock, and his old team the beneficiary of that. A second and a half to go.
Should be 3 seconds on that zone.
The Haifa coaching squad not as alert as you, Simi, but Rich fires up a prayer.
Money!
It's answered! Almost!
Oh, yes, yes.
And Jason Rich throws up a prayer which is almost answered. Could have been closer, but you know what? A very good quarter for Haifa. 21 they score, they only give up 14, and it is now a 4-point game. Anybody's game, Simi.
Yeah, it really is. They could have buried, they could have collapsed. They were down 14, something like that at the beginning of the 3rd quarter. They could have buried their head and got blown out by 30.
And a good sign early on the season to show that character for a new team with new players.
And some of the kids that picked up there, well, you know, our big men started playing.
Strong gave some of his best minutes we've seen.
Yes, best minutes we've seen the whole ever.
And you know what? I got to tell you, besides Jason Rich and Jefferson who are leading the scoring, Palat Rosa, tough kid, goes in there, plays hard.
Yeah, plays hard, was doing the thing, playing some tough defense, rebounds, you know, the things that you like to see, an all-around game, not just an offensive game. And the defense, you know, they held them to
14
points.
And so after that first, you know what, that first period, you were talking about the 29 points, but ever since then, only 30 points. They've really got down tough on defense.
The defense is becoming better. They're gelling together.
Ben Strong has scored 4, got a couple of rebounds, an assist, an offensive board. His second year in Maccabi Haifa. His home is Chapel Hill, North Carolina, which is famous more for the university there.
Dean Smith,
did not go there. As you see the folks wearing yellow, a little bit concerned. There is Shimon Mizrahi in your screen, the man who never smiles. And not a lot for him to smile about right now. His team only up by 4, and his entire team mirrored in controversy. So if he didn't smile up until now,
he ain't smiling.
He ain't smiling. Gur Shelif in your picture there, the manager of the team, replaced the late Moni Fanan a couple years ago. And despite all that's said, we still have to recognize it is a personal tragedy as well. And I know you knew Moni, and it's a
nice guy,
sad,
really nice person.
Sad story. That
really nice guy. Nice.
Fourth quarter's underway.
Nice offense.
Floats it up. It will remain Haifa ball, and Ben Strong being rewarded for those strong minutes. He is out there now. Jeremy Tyler still riding the pine. Kujikaro there fighting hard. The drums are out, the flags are waving, the shirts are off. The Green Apes are in their element right now.
Ito should have given the ball back to the point guard and run an offense instead of burying his head and just going at it.
Dior Fisher rattles it. Ben David goes up hard and plucks it. And here comes Haifa.
Plucks it, okay.
Ben Strong. Lots of physical contact down low between Rosa and Wisniewski.
There it
Jason
is.
Rich.
There it
with
is.
The flip up high.
Oh,
the rebound.
grabbed the
Ben
rebound.
Strong. Tried to tip it in with a little ticky-tacky instead of grabbing it down. That's not going to get you very far in the semi-rigor summer
grab the ball and
camp.
throw it down. You're 6'11".
We never said he wasn't the most opinionated color man in the business. Semi-rigor.
What you got to do.
Straight.
But this is what you got to do in this league. You know, it's not Division III.
You're a long way from Kansas, Dorothy.
That's true too.
Anderson and Rosa battling down there. Look at that, full contact. And they're going to call on Rosa.
That's the second foul of the quarter with less than a minute and a half gone in the quarter.
And that's significant because once you hit 5, it is free throws the rest of the way. And we all remember how the title game played out a year ago, decided essentially from the charity stripe. Wisniewski wide open. Misses it. He is still scoreless. He is ice cold tonight.
Having a tough night. He's a good player.
Banda, the backup point guard. But a clutch player for Haifa. He's in there in the big minutes, takes a shot right there.
Oh.
No good. Over the top, Rosa gets called.
God. That's the third foul.
That's number 3.
In a minute and 40 seconds.
And in a minute and 40 seconds, we have had 0 points. Nobody's scoring right now. Anderson on Rosa.
Oh, a walk.
And they're going to call a walk that time. So Anderson took a little shuffle with his foot there. And that was close, because that was a hand check by Rosa, and that would have been big trouble for Haifa.
Come on, let's get a bucket. Let's run an offense.
Jefferson, Blumenthal, not the greatest defensive player. And they're going to call him with the travel. Good defense there by Blumenthal and Dior Fisher raising their arms, and Jefferson had nowhere to go. Take a look at the replay. Goes baseline and Jefferson sandwich. Jefferson leading the way with 16. Rich behind him with 14. The only Haifa players in double figures. Shot clock down to 5, 4. Panini forces one up, in and out. Rebound, Kujikaro. That's what you get out of Ito Kujikaro.
That's important.
The man is fearless. Nowhere to go there for Richie. Ran out of room, but Kujikaro picks up the garbage. Out to Rosa. Jefferson to the hole. Can't get the run. He gets his own rebound. Hustle down there, and They end up without the ball. He wanted the foul, and he's talking it up with the refs. 3 minutes of scoreless basketball in the fourth. This is turning into an old-fashioned grudge match here. Panini, mismatch, got Ben David. He's bigger, and they call the foul. That is number 4 on the team. That is number 4 on Jason Rich. Painful foul there. From here on in, Tel Aviv will be shooting. So Rich has 4 fouls. You've got Hajjaj, Jefferson, and Rosa with 3 on the Tel Aviv side. You've got Limonad, you got Perkins, and Anderson with 3. So we talked before about the defense, Sammy. Is it good defense? Is it bad offense? We've had 3 minutes and 17 seconds of no score.
There was almost a fight between about Davon Jefferson and one of the referees. And he was going to call a technical on him, but Avi Ashkenazi ran on the court to ask him, Esteron, to calm down. And you have to understand, you have to control yourself.
Let's take a look at some of the games in process here. Bnei Hasharon up on Ramat Gan. We see Naharia up on the new team, Netanya, and Haifa, as you see here, against Maccabi Tel Aviv in a close match. All those games in the fourth quarter. Galil, Ashkelon playing tomorrow. And, of course, last night we began the season with a game in Jerusalem between Hapoel.
In Rishon LeZion.
In Rishon, rather, and right. With them and a new revamped team in Rishon with Meir Tapiro and a bunch of others. But the Jerusalem victorious and getting their first victory of the season. There are your soccer scores as we keep you up to speed. Maccabi Haifa leading the league in the soccer league as well, undefeated so far. So there's become sort of like a kinship between the basketball and the soccer teams here in town. And I guess all we can hope for right now is for the basketball team to keep up with the soccer team. Perkins back out on the floor with Fisher, Aidson, Blumenthal, Panini. Blumenthal, because of his Judaism, considered an Israeli here under the Russian rule. He and Panini are the Israelis. Ben David and Kujikaro on Haifa's side. So the first points of this period, and the lead grows to 6. Hajjaj in for Rich, who has the 4 fouls.
4 fouls.
And they're going to go with a 2-point guard attack here for Haifa.
It's important that Haifa gets a bucket. It's a 6-point game. You don't want a team to, you know, run. Oh my God!
And that, my folks,
oh my
is
God!
ridiculous. We had some bad calls.
Oh my God!
And that is foul number 5 on Haifa. They called the hook on Kujikaro, but
Sami Bachar, my God!
Public
what are you
enemy
thinking
number
about?
1.
Oh, it's horrible.
You hate to see the refs get involved and prejudge the outcome of the game. Let the players decide it. Blumenthal gets the bucket, and just like that, 8 points. So crucial moments right here for Haifa, who has yet to score in 4 full minutes. Five team fouls for Haifa in the fourth, 0 for Tel Aviv. Hajjaj with the penetration.
They don't have a very good offensive team out on the court. Basically, they have Davon and Jesse. Rich is coming back. They just can't afford not to have it.
Essentially, it's all on DJ's shoulders right now. Kujikaro, Ben David, even Palat Rossi, none of them really offensive-minded players. And then here he comes, Jason Rich, the second option for this team. He's got 14 points. DJ's got 16, and together they have more than half of Haifa's points. Into Kujikaro, and he gets fouled and will go to the line.
No, he won't go to the line.
How could he not be going to the line?
Well, that's the referee. OII, only in Israel.
That was in the motion.
Yep.
And the refs this season going to fall under even further scrutiny. A year ago, we had several refereeing controversies, including in the final game. This year, with a scandal looming in the background, they are not going to escape criticism. Perkins throws it in there. Nice throw ahead to Aidson, and he gets it. And just like that, it is a 10-point game. Haifa was within striking distance.
4 points, and they had the ball 5 times. They couldn't score a bucket.
And we are
Still haven't scored a bucket.
on the halfway point of the fourth, and they have not scored a point. Jefferson down low to Kujikaro. They call the foul.
21 is Fisher.
Number 3 on him.
Yep.
But so far, basketball is a simple game, Simi. You have got to put the ball in the basket, and they cannot buy a bucket right now. Flo Rosa going baseline on Panini, out to Hajjaj with the penetration move to Jefferson. Gets a hit and finishes it. That's what he does, giving you that West Coast symbol. Gets hit in the air by Fisher, foul number 4, and he goes to the line. So at long last, a bucket by Haifa. And that truly is a thing of beauty, Simi, how he has that body control to take the hit in the air, adjust his body, and then be able to lay it in.
He worked the weight room a lot this summer.
He looks a lot stronger
after
this
upper body strength.
Completes the 3-point play. Back to within 7, 4:40 to go. A lineup we've seen a lot tonight. Kujikaro in there with Jefferson, Pelot Rosa, Rich, and Hajjaj. They are emerging as the clutch players here. Aidson, Blumenthal gets it.
Nice offense.
Nice ball
Very
rotation.
nice offense by the Maccabi Tel Aviv team. 6-7 passes. The guy was wide open for an 8-foot jump shot. Nothing but net.
And David Blumenthal off the bench with 11 points. Along
Great
with Lemonade
shooter.
and Anderson.
Went to the same school as Davon did. Oh, my God.
And Jefferson now is irate.
That's his 4th.
And we have an interesting talk here between the two coaches. We're right next to them. We heard Avi Ashkenazi saying to his compatriot, Pini Gershon, "Are you happy now?" That's a disgrace, an absolute disgrace. The quote from him, and Pini Gershon just nodding and smiling. No argument from him. Ashkenazi feeling that the deck is stacked against his team tonight. Hajjaj, nice move. Gets the roll.
Very
nice
nice
little fake.
Drawers a doll, sweetheart. Got the rebound. Nobody stopped him. Went all the way.
So despite the rough calls, they're still hanging in there.
But you still get the feeling that they'll never let you beat them.
And if they won't, the refs won't.
That's what I'm saying. You get the feeling they'll never let you beat them.
Rich, coast to coast.
Oh, Rich.
Left hand hits the deck. Avi Ashkenazi calling for a timeout. He wants to regroup. Perkins saw it. He's going to go for the dagger right here. Extra look, Aidson. And the ball will be Haifa's. Kujikaro. 9-point game, and we have 3 minutes to go. Time becoming a major factor now for a team that has trouble scoring.
Yes, that's a great sentence for a team that has trouble scoring.
Hajjaj to the hole. Throws it down to Kujikaro. He gets it, goes up. Can't get the roll.
Man, a 1-incher. Missed that 1-incher.
That's hey, there's a flashback for you.
Flash front.
2:30 to go. Tel Aviv trying to put the nail in Haifa's coffin.
Yeah.
Aidson. He's a good player.
There it is. That's a 12-point.
And that's a killer.
Yep.
And Deron Perkins, who a year ago lamenting on the fouls called against him in the final game, enjoying the other side this year. Nice dish from him, and Aitson rattles it home. It's a 12-point game, just like that. And from what we can hear here from the bench of Maccabi Haifa, a lot of bitterness there, Simi. They felt it was within reach, and they felt.
Oh, you have to
the refs
understand,
took it
they
away
had
from
their
them.
chances. They didn't just.
And here we go. We're hearing from the bench in Haifa, speaking to us here as well in the booth, what they think about
They're saying they're doing everything on purpose, the referees.
You know, it's a part of sports to complain about the refs, and sometimes it seems like sour grapes. But again, I mean, I hate to harp on this. With all we've been hearing lately, it raises a lot of questions, Simi.
But, you know, there are a lot. You know, you can make a mistake on a bad call, but it can't be going only one way.
Let's take a look at a comparison today between the two front court starters, Jefferson and Tyler. Tyler not giving you much. A point and a couple of rebounds. Jefferson, 19 points, 5 rebounds. Giving it all he's got, but he cannot carry this team on his own. If they're going to reproduce what they did a year ago, he's going to need some help. .220 to go, down by 12. Haifa's going to need a miracle now. Jefferson from the corner, no good. And that may be it. 2 minutes to go.
It's not really, that's not really his shot. You know, he just threw it up there.
And Tel Aviv in no hurry, as they will try to milk the clock here. Hajjaj going baseline, pulls up.
Nice move.
Nice little kiss off the block.
Yeah. Shot, ball fake, shot, dribble, jump shot.
And the dying moments here in Tel Aviv. Down there, a nice rejection there by Jefferson. Exclamation point. Rich leading the break, going up against Aitson, and finishes it nicely. Jason Rich, after that slow start, slowly, now he's got 16 points for Jason Rich. Jefferson gets called for the foul.
That's his 5th foul.
And that'll be it for Davon Jefferson. So Jefferson fouls out with 19 points. The crowd going to give him a warm round of applause. He did his job. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Palot Rosa coming in.
Yep.
And Maccabi Haifa really only with 4 foreigners this year. A year ago, they had up to 7 at one point.
Yeah, but, you know, I mean, I don't know.
Tel Aviv, a team stacked with foreigners that they even had to sit down a Magic Lampe, who was there today, a guy who was drafted by the New York Knicks back in 2003.
That's enough of punishment.
Hajjaj pulls up, gets it.
Nice shot.
And Hajjaj now in double figures.
Nice to see him get his confidence back. Maybe that'll work for next week. I think it's against Rishon, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed, we will, and we'll be giving you a sneak peek of that game following the conclusion of this one. Perkins pulls up for 3, no good. A rebound by Palot Rosa, but now it's only going to be for the stat line. He gets fouled going to the hoop, a 10-point game.
It's a ball on the side. Yeah, that was their 4th foul of the period. Smart foul.
25 seconds to go in this one. Not many people have left their seats, but we see now they're starting to head for the exits. Yep. This one is history, and Haifa losing their opening game here against Maccabi Tel Aviv. A stacked Maccabi Tel Aviv featuring Deron Perkins and Dior Fisher. Dror Hajjaj going the line, gonna pad his stat line a little bit. And indeed, with that bucket, he now is in double figures as we take a look at the ownership of Maccabi Tel Aviv. Still not smiling.
Shimon Mizrahi and David Fetterman.
Ten seconds to go. This one is all but over. Tel Aviv
the fat
will
lady
win.
is singing.
Indeed she is. Important to remember, this is just the first game of the season. We have a 22-game slate. These teams will meet again at the beginning of the second round and perhaps again in the playoffs. Both favored to reach high in the playoffs this year. Of course, Maccabi, the defending champion. Haifa, the runner-up. And we have the same result this evening as we did in the final in May. Maccabi Tel Aviv wins 76-68 in a hard-fought match between the two teams. Your leading scorers tonight: Davon Jefferson with 19 for Haifa, followed by Jason Rich with 16. Dror Hajjaj chips in with 11. Jesse Pilot Rosa with 9. And Ito Kichikawa with 4 points, but 11 crucial rebounds. For Maccabi Tel Aviv, a balanced attack. Blumenthal and Anderson with 13. Limonad 12. Perkins 11. And Aitzen 9. Simi, first game of the year. We have a long season to go. First indications, though, if anything we can from this game. What kind of team have we got this season?
Well, you know, it's in the making. You really can't tell yet. I think Maccabi Tel Aviv played a couple of quarters that was below their talent level and what they should be doing. But Haifa looked disorganized offensively against the zone. The help that Davon needs under the boards came in a spurt of the big kid.
Yeah. With Ben Strong.
Ben Strong coming on. Yeah. Taylor didn't really help at all. It was very, 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 just a little upsetting, I can say.
First thing for them, of course, it is Maccabi Tel Aviv, the defending champion, perennial champs. We take a look here at the stats that we just read out to you. 0-1. Next week they're going to be against Rishon LeZion. Try to get things going for this team. On the bright side, we see Davon Jefferson establishing himself as a leader. We see Jason Rich having some good minutes for the team. And the fans here, full attendance tonight, 3,000 strong. The beginning of a long season, and hopefully a very fruitful one, Simi. It's
yeah, well, next week's going to be a big game, the Rishon LeZion game. This is a tough game to play against your home opener, even against Maccabi Tel Aviv. They're always tough.
So we will keeping you posted throughout the week and updates from other teams. Let's take a look at the stats here and the final tally here for the game. You see the difference on the three-point shots. Haifa only taking 11, only making 2. They're good from the free throw line, but elsewhere struggling the numbers, and big numbers there was a difference on the boards, especially the offensive board. Haifa actually with an advantage in that category. Even on the turnovers, which is a good symbol for them after they'd struggled a year ago. But the assists, big indication there for what it was. 20 assists from Maccabi Tel Aviv against only 11 for Haifa. We're going to be joined momentarily, we hope, by one of the players for Maccabi Haifa, and that player indeed is going to be Jason Rich, who made his first appearance here for Haifa today. And he is joining us here in our booth, and we're happy to have him with us here. Jason, welcome to the show, and congratulations on your first game here for Haifa. Didn't go the way you had hoped, unfortunately, but how was it today playing your debut for Maccabi Haifa?
Well, you know, anytime, you know, you play a game, you want to use it as a learning experience, whether it's a win or a loss. And, you know, for us, this was our first game, but it was not, you know, our season. You know what I'm saying? We approached it like it was our first game. You know, we were going to take away from it, you know, something to get us better, win or lose. You know what I'm saying? We played them tight. You know, we could have buckled down a little better in the first half. It gave up some easy baskets, you know, in the first half. I thought we did a better job with our intensity on defense, but overall, you know, it was a good learning experience for the first game.
59-55 in the beginning of the fourth quarter. You guys had the ball 5 times.
Yeah.
A couple of times you guys didn't even get off a shot against a soft zone. I won't even call it a tough zone.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, I mean, you know, sometimes you get caught up in just running sets, and you know, we lost our aggression, you know, against the zone. You know, although you're running the sets, you got to find, you know, the open areas to cut and move in the zone, and that's something that we're going to have to improve on.
Well, let's talk about you, your first game, your debut for Haifa. We saw your numbers, got off to a little bit of a slow start, but then you got going there, finished with 16 points, and helping out Davon Jefferson. He's going to need a lot of help out there offensively this year.
True, but, you know, for myself, anytime, you know, you have to take as many shots as I took only to get 16 points. I wouldn't call it my best game, you know, but it's my first game. It's a good experience for me, and you know, I don't see myself playing like I played tonight. I think I only play better.
Yeah, how did you feel playing against Anderson? He's quite an offensive threat.
Well, I mean, I felt like I had some great opportunities in the first half. I missed some chippies, you know, some baskets that, for me, usually go down. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't treat it as a Anderson versus Rich thing, but I mean, he's a very
just in general.
Yeah, for sure. He's a very talented player. You know, he has a good supporting cast with him. You know, they're a tough team, but at the same time, I'm encouraged by the way we played against them, and it wasn't our best game.
Next week you got Rishon, a team which is not as tough as Maccabi Tel Aviv. You're hoping to get off to a winning start over there. What do you have to do to improve your game and the team's for next week's game?
Well, I mean, you know, we gotta approach that game the same way we approach this game. I mean, obviously it's not Tel Aviv, and you know, maybe for the fans it don't mean as much as it will for us. But Rishon played Jerusalem very tough last night. They're a very talented team, and you know, we want to win, man. You know, so we're gonna have to approach it, you know, with the right mindset.
Do you feel that it's a must-win because you go on the road after that?
I wouldn't call it that this early, you know.
Right.
But you know, we're going to have Rishon. It's a good team, and not to look past them because we're going to have to respect them. But then, like you said, we are going to go on the road. So, I mean, anytime you want to protect your home court.
How do you like Israel?
It's a good place, man. It's basketball here is really growing. You know, it's got a lot of good players, and it's getting better year by year.
You enjoy living in Haifa so far?
Yeah, I do. It's a great city, man.
Great. Well, welcome to Israel and welcome to Maccabi Haifa. And that's Jason Rich. Thank you for joining us here in the studio, and we'll be seeing you next week.
Thank you.
As we will us too, and the game next week against Rishon, the second game of the season. Tonight, Haifa loses by 8 points. Next week, sneak preview, Meir Tapiro, Rishon. Very improved team this year. So.
Yeah, but it wasn't really an 8-point game. I felt it was a much bigger, bigger spread than before. They cut it down. Rishon's a must game. You know, Jason's a nice kid, but he doesn't realize what goes on in this league. You can't start losing 2 games at home, even if it's Maccabi Tel Aviv, and then go on the road, because then things start, you know, bad things start happening. It's more pressure, more everything. I thought the Haifa team had very, very good spurts in certain areas, offensively and defensively. When they got tougher on the boards, they were really a lot better. I thought the refereeing was horrible.
I'll second that. And on that note, we end our broadcast this evening. We'll be back again next week on a home game here against Rishon LeZion. Until then, hope you have a nice week. This is Aaron Heller saying good night from Haifa. See you next week.